Yo, 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 yo. What's going on, G? Funky Boxing. Whew, what a day I've had, man. A lot of fights. I've been inside the pool all day. All day long I've been out here watching the fights. Right now, you see Benavidez just gets the win against Lemieux. And just kind of like we talked about yesterday when I was on with Calix, just too fast. The variety of punches, combinations, the variation of speeds, and even showed some decent good footwork, man. Because Lemieux came out aggressive. Lemieux came out real aggressive tonight, trying to knock Benavidez out with one big shot. Try to get him backing up. But you see, Benavidez was comfortable moving back. And did a really good job of blocking a lot of those big shots from Lemieux, and was able to land his big shots. Beautiful catching shots. He was catching shoots. He was doing nice left hook. He caught him with in round one, and hurt him at the end of that round. That looked like the referee was going to stop it right there. Lemieux was actually lucky that they didn't. He was right there. Referee was jumped in literally just a second before the fight, before the bell rang for the end of round one. Round two, just more the same. Lemieux was busted up more in 3 rounds of Benavidez than he was against Triple G. But again, Benavidez is different offensively than Triple G, But again, this guy's a monster offensively, man. This dude is a monster offensively. There's nothing he can't do on the offense. And like I said, he started to show some good defense tonight as well. He was showing, a good guard, catching a lot of shots. That Lemieux's throwing some big shots, man. But again, he's catching shots, shooting off of them, off Lemieux's shots. And the corner, I think it was the right decision, man, because this fight wasn't gonna be turned around, man. It just wasn't. What was Lemieux gonna do to try to turn this fight around? Yes, I agree with you, Man in Water. Easy work. I agree with you, man. I'm gonna be in a few minutes, guys. Just like I said, I've been out here all day long watching the fights, enjoying this beautiful California weather that we've had, and just want to give you my quick thoughts on the fight. It was only 3 rounds, and look, now Benavidez is he's the mandatory for Canelo. He's Canelo's mandatory for that WBC strap. So he's got that in his back pocket now, ahead of any of these other dudes besides Bivol, who's, the contract says that he's got to possibly fight Canelo again if Canelo decides he wants to do that rematch with him. So we'll see what happens, man. I seen an interview with Samson today on Twitter where he was talking about how Morrell might get his wish and get a Benavidez fight. I'm good with that too. You know what I'm saying? I don't put up roadblocks, man, when it comes to fights. If dudes want to fight, they want to fight. I feel like Morrell, again, only 6 pro fights. He's shown tremendous skill. He's 24. We'll see if he's ready for this, man. We'll see, So let's hear what Benavidez got to say, and then I'll go ahead and go inside and open up the phone lines. But, man, guys, I've had a great day today, man, as you can tell. You guys know I love doing yard work, man. I cut my grass today. I got on this pool today. I've been out here watching fights since 11 a.m. All right, let's check out what Jim Gray got to say.
Before we start this interview, the referee, Harvey Dock, told me he was going to stop the fight right at the end of the first round when the bell rang. And because the bell
I kind of figured that, Jim Gray.
Go back to the corner and continue. Now we continue with you. Congratulations.
Don't forget to hit that like button, guys. New to the channel, subscribe.
Ya tiene su campeón 3 veces aquí.
Can you translate that for us?
A lot of bugs out here, guys. No, it is. When you're outside, you got the lights on. So if you see any in the shot, you know, that's what I can do. But hey, man, big crowd there for Benavidez as well. I think they're growing this kid the right way, man. Getting that home base built up. And like I said with Calix yesterday, close to Vegas, and that's where all the big fights are. If he ends up getting a big fight, I think a lot of these guys will travel to Vegas to support him, you know? What's going on, Jesus? It was a blowout, man. 3 rounds. The corner throws in the towel. Lemieux got rocked in the end of round 1, gets dropped in round 2, and then they just throw in the towel. I mean, there was nothing he could do. Again, he was just swinging big shots. Now, if he landed one, who knows what could have happened, right? But Benavidez was very responsible defensively. You know, he was seeing a lot of those shots coming, blocking them. Like I said, beautiful catch and shoots with the high guard. Boom, catching and throw right off of him. That's how he rocked him in round 1 with a left hook. So let's see. Let's see what he's got to say here.
Or at some point, he's going to have to fight you.
Just asked about Canelo. He's going to have to vacate or fight him. Let's see.
But what are you going to do now? Because you got Charlo, you've got Morel, you have Caleb Plant. What would you like to do? I'm waiting for him to send me the contract. Them bitches know what's up. I'm not even waiting for him. You know, I'm not scared of nobody. I'm the youngest guy, 3-time world champion, 168 division. I'll pull my belts against anybody, and I guarantee you, I'll knock everybody out. How much better can you get? There's always room for improvement, and every day I strive to be as good as I can.
Yeah, it's a good question, Mike. Yes, it was a beating from the start.
You can learn everything, defense, offense. You know, it only gets better from here.
It's a good fight, Mike from Boston. I'm telling you, man. I've been saying it for a while. Benavidez versus Canelo, the most entertaining, best, competitive, fan-friendly fight that you could make at 168 pounds, man. I've been saying it for a long time. Motherfuckers getting their feelings when I say that, but you know what? I don't give a fuck.
When I first started, I thought one world title was impossible.
You fanboys ain't shit to me. Never will be. I want to see the best fights, man.
Tremendous warrior. Are you okay? I'm good.
The walls are closing in on Canelo. There is no more Liam Callums to fight. Watch how he suddenly is able to make 160 again. Oh, that would be something. David Benavidez will now say he can take punches. Well, I don't think he really got hit with much clean tonight, Jesus. Lemieux's a warrior, man. He wanted to keep fighting, but you know what? They made the right decision, man. He wasn't going to win this fight. It was just going to get worse for him, man. It was just going to get worse, that's all.
Of course, we're still going to talk with my team, but definitely tonight was not my night.
But I knew this was going to happen, man. He was going to get put in the blender. His high guard is just not good. A lot of holes in it. And again, the guy's willing to throw his hands. Benavidez is going to find holes in there. He's able to time him because he's always throwing punches at the same speed, big shots. Mike from Boston says, this guy is a less polished version of Bivol. Would be a great fight. I think they're different. They're about the same size, but I think they fight differently. Like Bivol is more economical with his shots. You know, he likes to be more accurate, as where Benavidez is a volume guy. And, you know, he likes to, like I said, change up the speed on his punches. So, and that's the thing. That's what makes him so difficult. It's a time and catch for a guy like Lemieux, right? Because if you want to catch a guy and time him, and he's constantly not throwing the same combinations, he's always changing up the speed of his punches. Like, you're gonna have a hard time catching him. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just the name of the game, man. And Benavidez is really good at that. So he's going to be tough to beat, man. And like I said, I heard an interview with Sampson talking about Morel. If Morel wants that smoke, man, let's get it, you know? Let's see. Man in Water says Canelo started believing in his own hype, and Bivol brought him back to reality. Jesus MG Funky, David Lemieux's job was to be a Canelo and throw power punches, stay in the pocket. Yeah, I think he's more of a power puncher though. He's a real true power puncher, David Lemieux. Mike from Boston says they both have those long arms and can block both head and while hold midsection. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. Um, so I'm gonna go. I'm gonna shut this camera down real quick. I'm gonna go inside and then open up the phone lines for anybody that wants to call. So give me a few minutes here, guys. Probably not even a few minutes, maybe just like 1 minute. I just gotta go inside and we'll get this party started, man. Thank you guys for joining me. And you know, if you're new to the channel, subscribe and all that good stuff, man. But I'm gonna head inside right now. We're gonna get this thing cracking, man. If anybody wanna give some hot takes. I want those hot takes right now, baby. Fresh. Well, we just got off the fights tonight. And we can talk about any of the fights tonight. It's got to be this one. We can talk about any of them. But give me a second, guys. Post-fight party. Let's get it. Excuse me, guys. All right, there we go. My bad, guys. What's good? Man, what a day, man. Boxing fans, man, look, we got to give the sport credit when it's due, man. They're giving us a lot of fights, man. Let's give them a hand. This is beautiful, man. We're getting fights, multiple fights. We had 3 fight cards on DAZN, Top Rank, PBC. Hey, I'm excited, man. I'm excited. Let's talk some boxing, man. Let's see here. Styles make fights, says, yeah, I agree, man. Hey, what's up, man? I see a lot of people. Yeah, man. Don't forget to hit the like button, guys. All right. I think Bivol is a harder fight. Canelo would be very competitive with Benavidez. Well, I mean, we saw what happened with Bivol, right? And this is something I've been saying for a long time. Excuse me, guys. This is something I've been saying for a long time when it comes to Canelo. And right, again, the problem is guys getting their feelings. That's always the problem with Canelo. His fans, they got this weird thing about them, how if you critique them just a little bit or even break down styles and shit, like these motherfuckers get mad, bro. Like shit is excuse me, the shit is weak, man. The shit is weak. But you know what? I don't give a fuck, man, because what we do here is talk boxing. We don't do that other bullshit. All right. Give me a second, guys. I want to do a quick audio check.
At Clark, we've been protecting homes and businesses from pests, termites, and more
This week, but you know what? I don't give a fuck, man, because what we do here is talk boxing. All right, sounds good. Last time I went live, StreamYard does this weird thing where it doesn't connect to your actual mic, but it goes to the computer mic, and then it sounds like you're talking in a fucking cave, you know. So I want to make sure everything was right for you guys. But let me go ahead and open up this phone line for you guys. I'm ready to talk some boxing, man. If anybody's willing to talk, willing to call in, the number is on the screen right now. 916-572-1020. Let's get it, baby. All right. El Bandera Roja did his thing tonight and looked impressive doing it. You know what I'm saying? Man in Water here says, look at Canelo's last 10 opponents. How many were both good and in their prime? Only Callum Smith. Every other fighter was old or a bum with a belt. Well, they were title holders, man, you know, but again, I'm not going to critique guys that go undisputed. You know, I made that video the other day. But that's the thing, you know. My man D Styles calling in. Give me a second, guys. Let's get him on. D Style Boxing. What's good, bro?
What's going on, brother? I was about to pretend I was a troll, but then I was like, he's gonna hang up on me, so never
mind. What's on your mind, bro?
Hey, let me tell you something, man. what I thought we were going to see for the first 4 rounds or so, it only happened for about 2 minutes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That I was like, yeah, there's David Lemieux, like, because he's not like a terrible fighter like some people are saying. But he got caught with a really nice hook, and you saw Benavidez, man, he threw like what was that like? I didn't count them, but it looked like 7 straight uppercuts. Like it was the craziest thing, right? And I'll be honest, 9 out of 10 refs stop it right there. Like 9 out of 10 refs stop it right there. In the next round, I was like, I don't think Lemieux's going to recover. I was having flashbacks of when Rubio caught him, and he kind of didn't recover.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, it's kind of like that. But, he's a veteran now, so he knows how to survive a little longer, and he did. And what impressed me was, look, Benavidez ate some pretty good shots early. And I think that's what gave him confidence. He was like, okay, you know what? I could take these shots. And that's when Lemieux was in trouble.
Right.
And let me tell you guys something. Lemieux could punch. All right? And if you could take Lemieux's punch, he's got a chin. Like point blank, period. So at the end of the day, Lemieux just couldn't hang, man. The jab was on point. That's a really good tool to use against Lemieux. So
yes,
good on David for utilizing that. He was able to put the punches together. The guard was tight, man. Lemieux couldn't even move those gloves.
Mm-hmm.
Like the guard was tight. The power's there. The one thing that he is maturing on, again, and we talked about this before. I mean, he's only 25 years old and he's getting better.
Right.
And he's finding his power, his range. He's putting it all together, man. And and I get it. People are gonna say, "Oh, come on," but this is David Lemieux, though. Yeah, well, find me somebody that beat David Lemieux better than this. It wasn't Gennady Golovkin.
No, it was not.
Right? And it sure and you could debate. Well, Billy Joe did it in his own way. He did, but he didn't do this to him, though.
No,
he didn't beat him up. And I know there's a lot of people in the boxing community that like to say, like, oh, I'd rather get knocked out and beat up than outbox for 12 rounds. Yeah, well, don't count me in that. I'd rather get outboxed and beat up like that.
Same for me. Same for me.
Now, I'll be honest, though. People are not going to like me saying this. People are not going to like this. I do think it was inevitable. I do think eventually he would have stopped him. But I'm not a fan of the stoppage, because Lemieux was still fighting back, and I already know I'm going to get Alfred. People are going to be like, "Come on, D-Style." I agree, he was getting beat up, but he was still throwing back, man. He was landing some body shots or partially landing, and you never know how one punch could turn something around. Lemieux's a veteran. This could be his last opportunity, and I just think someone like that with that experience deserves that a little extra time than you would like a young fighter or something. Like, I just think, like, if he wants, I'm not saying they let him go out on his I don't want to be that dude. Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, let him go there till they die. That's not what I'm saying. It might come off that way, but look, if Lemieux wants to get until it's like, oh, that's like, I just didn't like stoppage. I'm not a fan of the way this was suddenly just stopped like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but hey, I'm not mad at it either because it was inevitable. But you just never know, right? So it's one of those. I just wasn't a fan of the stoppage. It's my opinion, but I've never been a fan of stoppages like that. He is a puncher. Let him he's a veteran. Give him a shot. I think he's earned that right. If he wants to keep fighting a little longer, to let him. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah, you made some good points. He's gonna always be in a fight because of his power. You just never know if he could land something. I think that they were just trying to say, you know what? Yeah, this is probably his last chance to become, put himself in contention of becoming a champion. But let's try. Maybe he wants to continue to fight. I mean, he's only 33. So he could still fight some more, continue to make some more money. he would have took a lot of punishment, if that fight would have continued. So like I'm okay with it, but I understand your point. Because he is always dangerous no matter what.
Yeah, look, I'm not saying I let him go the whole fight like that. But I think there was if you don't stop it in the first round when he was literally just hanging, the only thing keeping him up at that point was the punches of Benavidez. I think if Benavidez would have stopped punching, he would have fell down.
Yeah.
If you don't stop it if you don't stop it when he's sitting in the corner after that beating in the second, why are you just going to randomly stop it like that in the third? What exactly are you waiting for? In fairness to the ref, he did kind of, I don't know what he said to Lemieux, but he must have said something like, hey, if you're in trouble like that again, I want to stop it. After the knockdown.
Yeah,
right?
He did. Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's just how I feel about it. Now I will say this. I do want David Lemieux to continue fighting, but he's kind of done at this level though. I think he could fight he could be a spoiler for some up and coming fighters. Or kind of like that gatekeeper, you know what I mean? Which is, people say that as a negative. I don't. If he could get a paycheck, gatekeepers don't always lose. Sometimes they win.
Why not?
I wouldn't mind seeing Lemieux against Berlanga.
Oh,
and then people could talk the shit then. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, I think he has an excellent chance against Berlanga. I really do.
Yeah. Well, that's a. From what Berlanga's looked the last couple fights, yeah, Lemieux's a dangerous opponent for him, no doubt about it. I would still favor Berlanga, simply because he's got power himself. He's younger, but Lemieux's dangerous, man. That punch he's got can end it at any time, man. So that would be a nice fight though to see. That would be a real nice fight to see. I wasn't even thinking about something like that, but that's wouldn't mind seeing
that's
that.
his only path. I think the whole I'm going to become world champion again. I think that's run its course at this point. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I think he could forget about that. So if he wants to stick in, there's always a role a boxer could play, right? And then a guy like David Lemieux could be there fighting the fringe contenders, the up and coming, those prospects where we don't know if they're the real deal yet, and if you could put them in there with a Lemieux and you'll find out. So there's a role for him, in my opinion. And one more thing before I go, I believe David Lemieux, he landed a couple shots on Benavidez early. Look, man, I think David Benavidez, as long as he can make the weight, I think he's fine. I had some questions about, is he weight training himself to where he's not going to be able to, be comfortable at this weight? But he looked great in there, man. He just did.
Yeah, he did.
Now, he only went 3 rounds, so we don't know about the stamina, but nothing after seeing him, the tempo he had in 3 rounds, I have an idea how he would have done for the next couple of more rounds. I didn't see him slowing down. So, you could usually, guys that are having problems with their stamina, you'll see it right away after 3-4 rounds, So I didn't see that. So, and he threw a big flurry at the end of the first, and he came out fresh in the second. I mean, I think he's fine at this weight, man. And I'm telling you right now, hey, it's just the era we're in. If a guy can make weight, then it is what it is. That's part of the game. If he can use his weight to his advantage, make his punches heavier, then everyone's allowed to do that. You know what I mean? So it's fair game to me. He's not the only guy that's rehydrating. But let me tell you, man, a fight I really, really want. And they could do it. And it's a fight I believe we fans deserve after all. And I believe it would be a big fight if they put it on Fox or something. They could put it on free TV and bro, if they could make Caleb Plant versus David Benavidez, that's bad blood. That fight sells itself. They don't like each other. Benavidez has said he wants to put this guy in a hospital. Plant has called him a crackhead and all types of stuff, saying he would be easy work. So, hey, man, I think that's a fight that could be made, and you don't need a world title for that. It's just that type of fight. It's like a De La Hoya Vargas type of fight that the rivalry sells itself, Mm-hmm. So I think that's a fight that I think, unless because look, Canelo still has to fulfill the zone thing, so it's not going to happen this year or anything. But I think Benavidez plan could happen later this year, man. And I don't see why not. I think that's, to me, if I had a choice at the end of the year or something, that would be the fight. Benavidez Plant. And I'm going to go with Benavidez with about a mid-round stoppage in that one.
That's a great fight too. And kind of old school in a way. Like, you remember how back when we were teenagers in the 90s, guys would fight another guy's leftovers and then try to beat him more or better, more impressive than they did, and then make the fight.
That's right.
So that would be one of those things.
That's a great point. But here's the other thing. Like, hey, Gennady Golovkin wants to move up to 168 to fight Canelo, right? Let's say Canelo rematches Bivol. If I'm Benavidez, I'm like, yo, I'll fight you, Gennady. Like, you want to fight?
Yeah.
Like, I just beat a dude you beat better than you did.
Mm-hmm.
That's like your third best win ever, and I just beat the fuck out of him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, granted, I'll just look. I don't like to speak for fighters, and I like to give them the benefit of the doubt. Gennady Golovkin doesn't fight David Benavidez, right? He doesn't do it. I don't think he sees that benefit in doing it. He won't do it. But if I'm David, I call him out anyway. All right. The other one is Charlo. I think Jamal. It's time to move up, man. It's time to put yourself like, dude. If Jamal, I'm gonna go on record and say this right now. If Jamal Charlo signs on a dotted line to fight David Benavidez, win, lose, or draw, I will not criticize Jamal Charlo.
Yep. Same for me.
I don't care if he gets knocked out in the first. I will say, hey, man, hey, he stepped up to the plate and he fought this dude. Like that. That's how I felt. Like I go on record and say that stuff. Like, I respect guys that step up to the plate. Like that. That's all we can ask of fighters. You know what I mean? The fight result's the fight result.
Yep. At the end of the day,
that's all I want from Jamal, bro. That's it.
At the end of the day, all we can do is, when the fighters give us the fights that we want, give them credit for it, win, lose, or draw. You know, that's what we should do as fight fans, man. Not throw them in the trash just because they get beat. They take on the challenge and they come up short. Hey, it is what it is, man. At least you gave us the fight. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, man.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Great call, brother, as always. And, we'll see you on Monday Aftermath. If you guys aren't subscribed to D-Style Boxing, subscribe to D-Style Boxing here on YouTube. He'll be reviewing this fight with a panel of guests and all the other fights as well that happened today. So make sure you guys subscribe, man. Thanks a lot for the call, brother.
Absolutely. La Bandera Roja.
My man, D-Style Boxing, man, with the great call. Let's give him a hand for that one. All right. We'll give him a hand. Hey, look, I see you throwing some shots, hating on Benavidez, Omar. But look, if that's a fight, that's a fight that could possibly happen. We'll see. Once it gets made, I'll definitely make a prediction on it. No doubt about it. But I don't make predictions on fights that aren't made, because we know how boxing can be. The fight might not ever happen, you know. Puro Sur says, I respect all fighters. They got to earn my fandom. Right. And you know what? And like we just talked about, as long as they give us the fights that we want, we got to give them credit. We have to, you know, because that's all we ask for as fight fans, right? We don't pay them, you know. I mean, we pay them if we go to the fight and if it's on pay-per-view, right? Our part of our money's there. But give me a second, guys. Get another phone call here. Hey, what's going on, man? How you doing?
Doing good, and I just wanted to call in. You know, I just don't really call in many boxing shows, so this is my first time, and I just wanted to give my quick thoughts on the fight tonight.
Go right ahead, brother. Floor is yours.
Yeah, man. Benavidez, he looked good. He did what he had to do, and yeah, I mean, I agree with D-Style. He didn't look like he had any issues with the weight this time. So maybe he's, being more disciplined, taking it more serious now. He has a son, he has a family, he has to feed. So, it was an impressive performance by Benavidez. But I want to get your thoughts on the Johnny Beck fight. What did you think of his performance?
Johnny Beck looked good. You know what I'm saying? He looked really, really good. a southpaw with true power. Highlight reel knockout against a guy. What was his name? Done something. I never heard of the guy, to be honest with you. But yeah, that was good. And you know what? I seen him fight before in the bubble at Top Rank. He's a problem for anybody, man. When you got a southpaw that can punch like that, he's a fucking problem, man. I think he's the real deal. That's what I think.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm feeling as well, man. He looks like he can be a force to be reckoned with. Do you think we could ever maybe potentially see that Yanni Beck and Andre fight? I mean, I know it's a huge risk for Andre and low reward, but I mean that would be his best win if he were to beat Yanni Beck, right?
Absolutely. And from my understanding is this. Now, I'm not 100% up to speed on everything, but from my understanding, this was for an opportunity to fight for Andrade's belt at 160. Andrade decided to, I guess, vacate, go to 168, and then try to fight to become a mandatory for Canelo at 168. But then he got injured. He was supposed to fight somebody named Zach Parker, I believe. Got injured, and I don't know. I'm not quite sure if that fight is completely scratched or if it's just being rescheduled to let him heal up. I'm not quite sure, but that's what I know as of right now.
Yeah, it's pretty unfortunate how Andre's career is looking right now. This injury might set him back for who knows how long, and this would have been a pretty decent fight for Andre. And it's just unfortunate, he got hurt.
Yeah.
But just a few more points I want to make. So Benavidez Plant, that's a good fight, as D-Sal and you have said. Benavidez would definitely stop planning in those mid rounds. I would predict as well. And man, I just think that that Charlo and Benavidez one though, that one I feel like it's competitive. I still have Benavidez winning, but that's the one where I think if Benavidez were to beat Charlo, I think he just literally corners Canelo, and he has to fight. Canelo has to fight Benavidez if he were to especially stop Charlo. What do you think about that?
No, I agree, man. I agree. The Charlo fight is interesting because it'd be him moving up in weight. I feel like he's got the frame for it. He's a big guy. So I don't think moving 168 would be much of an issue for him. Those are all great fights, man. But for some damn reason, PBC is not making them. I don't know if they're trying to marinate these fights and milk them for whatever. But I mean, look, the time is now, man. Charlo is in his 30s, right? He's in his early 30s. These two guys, Plant, he could possibly fight Plant as well, Charlo, and Benavidez. These guys are still in their 20s. So I don't know what they're doing with Charlo, man, to be honest with you. There's really no smoke for him at 168 on that side of the street, But moving up, there's a couple of guys there, actually 3 guys if we throw Morel in there. So, yeah,
exactly.
I think after this fight with Sulecki, all right, hopefully knocks this guy out and he moves up to 168 and we can get some of these fights, man. I think they're all really, really good fights, man.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%, man. The only thing is that, let's say he does beat Sulecki, which, I mean, we kind of think it's a given. I don't think he goes into 168 straight into a Benavidez fight. If anything, he might go straight into like a Plant fight. I can see that. But yeah, I hope we really get these fights, because everyone's just kind of stalling, especially PBC, and it's getting old, it's getting repetitive, and these guys zeros, man, they only mean so much, and it's just smoke and mirrors, and I just hope we get to see the best fight the best, and that's what boxing should be, right? And
right.
Hopefully we can move along those lines, with this year and next year with more fights. But yeah, man, those were some of my points. Lemieux, yeah, he definitely. I had said earlier to a couple of friends of mine, I had told them that Lemieux looked like he was in there for 10 rounds.
Yeah, he did.
Wow.
He did. I said it when I first started. I don't know if you were here right when I first started, but I was like, he looks just about as bad as he did at the end of the Triple G fight in 3 rounds. So I agree with you, man, for sure. But hey, man, I appreciate the call, brother. You know, I got a few more calls coming in. But hey, great talking to you, man. And you know, I'm live every Saturday night after the fights, man. So, you know, give me a call, man, anytime.
Yeah, man, I appreciate the call as well, and I'll be calling more often, and I enjoy the content and keep doing what you're doing.
Absolutely, man. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much, man. Guys, I've had 2 calls. And again, I want to give everybody an opportunity to speak their mind and let me know what they think. So, again, only 1 call I could take at a time. So if you hear me on with somebody, you know, wait for the call to end, and then we'll go from there. Give me 1 second. We got another phone call. What's going on? 206.
What's good, G Funky? What's happening?
I'm doing good, my brother. How are you?
Oh man, just enjoying this sunny weather up here.
Oh,
Great Northwest.
Beautiful, isn't it, man? I had a hell of a day today, man. I was like I said when I first started, I was outside literally the entire day, man. It was that good of weather, you know.
Oh, what is it?
Yes,
I can only imagine how fun it is down in California when it's sunny.
I was in the pool. I was doing all kinds of stuff, man, and I was able to watch fights all day, man. But what's on your mind, brother?
Shit, that fight that just happened. I mean, they look like weight classes apart. I mean, shit, man. You know, like Dave Lemieux tried, but I mean, the man's washed up. He's washed up, and got fucking knocked. He got fucked up, man. I mean, you know, Benavidez hits hard. He's a big dude, you know, and he could put his combination together. You know, that's something that we all know he can do, and he did what he had to do. I think that Charlo, you know, here's what I would ask, right? When Jim Gray asked him who did he want to fight, he said all them bitches know what's up, basically, or paraphrasing what he was saying. Do you think he should have just named, look, I want to fight Canelo or Charlo or David Morrell or whoever the hell else is there? Do you think he should have just named them instead of just saying that you know, that wayward comment, just saying calling them all bitches but not naming the name?
I mean, yeah, that would have probably been a little bit better. I've seen him on several interviews this week where he's basically said he's ready to, you know, obviously now he's the mandatory for the WBC strap. So right. Canelo's in line, possibly, maybe not this year, maybe next year. But he also said, look, I'll take Plant. I'll take Charlo if he moves up. When he interviewed with us, we asked him about Morrell. He said, I'll fight Morrell. It's a good fight. So, you know, he's willing to fight any of these guys. And if they don't, he said, if they don't make any of them happen, he's going up to 175. And I wouldn't be mad at him, you know, if he couldn't get those fights. But I mean, for me, last on the list would probably be Plant. And the only reason why Plant is because he's just coming off of a loss. Now, I know that there's some bad blood there, but that would be the only reason. I want to see him fight somebody that's on a winning streak, like a Charlo who's never been beat. Morrell, he's got 6 fights, you know, although he's looked, you know, pretty good in those 6 fights, but 6 fights is 6 fights, you know. And look, we already got people in the chat saying that he cherry picked, right? That this is a cherry pick for him. Like, they're just going to say the same exact thing if he beats Morrell, right? They'll say Morrell now, but then when he beats him, they're going to say, well, he beat a guy who only had 6 fights, you know? So it's just one of those things with him, man, you know? Go ahead.
Here's what I'd say, right? There ain't nobody at 168, bro. Like, that whole division is just like, that shit has literally nobody. I mean, they're just putting anybody in the top 10 rankings at 168 at this point.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think the most aesthetically pleasing fight would be him and Canelo at 168 for all the belts. If, you know, because I mean, look, you know, all these ranking systems are a bunch of bullshit to begin with. So it don't matter who he's number one. If he's number 1 and 2 or the 4th, it doesn't fucking matter to me, you know. But most likely that fight's not going to happen for whatever fucking reason, you know. But if it ain't that, Charlo and you know, hey, David Morrell. I mean, even though it just, I mean, David Morrell. I mean, he's very promising, but 6-0. I mean, he's not even 10-0.
Right.
You know, I don't. You know, that's not to me. I mean, just by logic, I wouldn't even do that shit, bro. But as far as I mean, there's really ain't nothing else. I mean, to me, it should be Canelo or Charlo at this point. And if not, because I don't even want to see him fight. Andrade ain't shit, man. I don't see this great boxer. I've never seen this shit. The first time I ever saw him, I thought he was fucking overrated. You know, get me with that shit, that Olympic shit. That Olympic shit don't only get you so far in the professional. It's a different fucking ball game, man. You know, that's why they do fights once or twice a year. I think that 175 is the option. I mean, look, the man, you know, from what I'm looking at, I mean, the man looked like he a cruiserweight. You dig what I'm saying? Cutting down to make these damn weight classes, which all like D-Style said earlier, you know, all these guys do that shit. So it is what it is. But I think 175 would be the move. I think that if he was to fight Bivol or Bivol, I think 175 would be an interesting fight because of the different type of style that both guys present. You know, the volume punching, the barrage of punches that he throws versus a guy that likes to box with the jab and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it'd be a different kind of style. Him and Beterbiev would be a good fight, even though I probably favor the harder puncher, which would be Beterbiev in the fight. But no, I mean, those would be the options. But I mean, 168, to me, it just doesn't make sense why we can't get him and Canelo now. It don't, to me, I don't understand. And him and Charlo, if that's not the case, then him and Charlo should fight. I don't know what the hell. I don't know if PBC don't have any dates anymore. But I'm really getting tired of seeing their fighters just sit on the shelf, and we just see these guys decay away, man. Once a year, 2 times a year at the most.
Yep, I agree, man. And I want to say something real quick, guys. 36 here watching live. Only got 18 likes, man. Hit that goddamn like button. All right, it's for free. Okay, I don't ask you guys for money. None of that stuff, okay? Just hit my like button. It's all I ask you to do. And if you're new, subscribe. Great point, though, man. PBC they let their guys sit on the shelf, collect dust, and it's unfortunate, man, because look, we just named 4 fighters that are either in or around that weight class that are under the PBC banner that could fight each other, you know? And look, the time is now, man. Look, Charlo, he's got to fight next month. Hopefully he beats Sulecki. He should win that fight and move up to 168. He's got the frame for it. I think he can carry that weight very well. Benavidez is there. Plan is there. Morel is there. All these guys should be mixing it up, man. In the meantime, if Canelo's going to rematch Bivol, let's get that shit on. Let's get it over with, right? This way he could possibly fight one of these guys. And, again, Benavidez is now his mandatory. That's where other guys can't say that. So I hope it happens, man. I'm hoping May next year we get that fight, man. Hopefully.
Why do we gotta wait that fucking long though? That shit is fucking crazy.
Right. I know. Well, he's got that contract with the Zone. That's kind of booked him the rest of the year.
Well, here's what I'll say about Benavidez, and I think was impressive is the fact that he looked a whole lot slimmer than what he. Not to say that fucking means something, because physique doesn't mean shit. But you could tell that he probably taking his fucking conditioning serious. He doesn't look as flabby as he did the last fight that he was in. And so, I mean, if he's taking it serious, then he can be. He's a serious threat. You know, I mean, he has the volume, he has the power, and he has the hand speed, and he has the aggression. You know.
Yep. So I'm right there with you, man. He's very polished offensively, man. And here's what's going to make him hard to beat for anybody at 168 is that, again, he's got power, speed, but he's very good at his range, right? He doesn't smother his work. He's always in good position to throw those flurries like he does and get out of the way of shots. We've seen that tonight. A lot of good catch and shoots he was doing with Lemieux. He's very good at changing his combinations. Doesn't really throw the same combination, changes speeds on all his punches, makes him very hard to time for guys that like to time guys. You know, he's going to be a problem for anybody. I'm not saying he just wipes everyone, but he's going to be a problem for anybody, man.
Yeah, I think he is a problem for everybody. Just because of his size and what he can do. I think of course, what he can do also, what his best capabilities can also be his best downfall or greatest downfall. But it has to be the right boxer. I don't think it's just any old body, you know. And I don't think that someone like Charlo, I don't see what people see in Charlo that shows me that he can beat Benavidez. I mean, you know, the dude got tagged up by lesser opposition. And, you know, he's not taking those punches accumulatively by Benavidez. There's no way, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, well, we'll see, man. Hopefully we get something big here and they don't just not let Benavidez fight. It's still early in the year, right? We're in May. We still got, a whole 7 months until this year's over. He needs to be in the ring at least one more time this year. Come on, PBC, make it happen. But hey, 206, man, let us know what you got going on your channel, and then I'll go ahead and open up the line for someone else, man.
Not a problem, man. I'm, the boxing historian, Big Brian, boxing historian 206 on YouTube, man. You can check me out there if you want to. We'll be back with some content, later, hopefully later on this week.
There you go, guys.
But yeah,
make sure you
salute G Funky.
Absolutely, anytime, man. Anytime you're welcome here, man.
Oh yeah.
Have a good one, brother. That was my man, the boxing historian 206, calling in from Seattle, Washington, man. Super chat here from Joshua Bitts says, "Hey G Funky, what do you think of Benavidez's performance tonight? Do you think his win is legitimate, or do you think Lemieux was past his prime? Because I was surprising to see him get rid of him in 3. Well, I mean, look, prime, that's a good question, because I've heard several athletes range prime differently. Like, I'll take one of my favorite athletes of all time, and who I believe is the greatest basketball player of all time, is Michael Jordan, right? He said his prime, he said he felt like he was in his prime in his early 30s, 31, 32, 33. Other people think it's like, anywhere from like 27 to 30 or something like that, so that's kind of a, tricky question. Do I think that he's in his prime? No, I would say probably at the end of his prime, right? If he peaked, right, he hits the apex, I think he's headed that way in his career right now at 33 years old. But he still has power. That's the thing. That was the thing that made this fight interesting to me, was to see if he could land something big on Benavidez. Could he take it? And he did clip him a few times, and even a few times to the body, and he took it well. So I think this is a legit win, no doubt about it. Nobody did this to Benavidez. Not even Triple G, a guy who a lot of people say is one of the greatest middleweights of all time. He didn't get rid of him like this. So we got to give credit when it's due, but I appreciate the super chat, man. Good stuff there. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Let's go over some comments here. Benny Gomez here says, Charlo got a chin, though. He took some big shots from Montiel in the last fight. Although Montiel, I think Montiel did hurt him a couple times. But it wasn't nothing serious where I think Charles was going to go down. But you could see that he was being affected by some shots. Ricky Beavers here says, styles make fights. I agree. Let's see here. Sonia Dumas says, when David Benavidez go to the right division, we'll see. I mean, he's in the right division. He's making weight. He's been making the weight. So I don't understand. Like, this is, again, moving the goalpost on Benavidez. Man in Water here says Benavidez beats Charlo. I believe so as well. And you're always welcome to speak your mind here, man. I don't care if you disagree with me or anybody in the chat. As long as it's civil and as long as it's to boxing, you're all good, my brother. Everybody's good here to say what they want to say, as long as they keep it boxing. All right. Like my man D Style says. Joe Lopez 40 ounce says Lemieux passed his prime. Lemieux's best days were at 160. This was not his first fight at 160. It was 168. I think this is his 4th fight in this division. Somebody's asking what his walkout song. I have no idea. I didn't even hear it. Let's see. Star Boxers want Benavidez to go to 160 or 175. Yeah, I mean, look, he said he might go to 175, depending on what happens with his next fight here at 168. We'll see. I don't mind him going to 175. If he's got to go there, he's got to go there. No big deal to me. Although I would like to see the Canelo fight because, again, like I said, I think that is possibly the most lucrative and the most entertaining fight for the fans. Benavidez versus Canelo. Great stuff, man. Great stuff. Man in Prime says, Man in Water says, Prime isn't just about age, it's mental too. A lot of top athletes are still in great shape, but mentally they're tired of training every day since they were kids. That's true too. That's a good point. Ricky Beavers here says everyone's prime comes at different ages. Yeah, like I said, I've heard a lot of people say different, but it's usually what I hear athletes say. It's usually somewhere between your late 20s and early 30s, around that area. I would say about a good 6-7 years from like 27 to like 33, 34. Like Jordan still said he felt like he was in his prime when he retired from the Bulls in 98, and he was 34, I believe, at the time. So it all depends, and again, he's not in a contact sport, but he's also in a sport where you run and jump, play 80, and people talk about LeBron's longevity, and I'll give him that, but Jordan played, every fucking game. It was rare that he didn't play a full season. Art P says David's jab was stiff as hell. Very nice. Yes, that power jab is unbelievable, man, and it's fast. Very, very fast. And yeah, 28 to 34 was Jordan's best. Yes, I agree. Hey, my man off the ropes, boxing and MMA, he says, stopping by to salute the OG. I say, let's see Benavidez' plan. Hey, let's get it, man. I'm good with that. Make sure you guys subscribe to this channel right here. Really good content here. They're a young channel, just starting things up. So go over there and show them some support, man. They're going to be dropping more content. So, I like the channel, man. Make sure you guys subscribe to them. Boxing historian here says Triple G is a great hype job by HBO. He got a lot of hype from HBO. Not gonna lie, he did. Robert Garcia retired, huh? From training? Wow, that's news to me. Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, man. And and anytime you want to you want to come on or call in, whatever, you're more than welcome to off the ropes. I'm always here to support, man. Guys, I want to stay on here for about another 10 minutes. I usually like to keep these post-fight calling shows around 10 minutes. If anybody else wants to call in, give me a call right now. Phone number is on the screen, 916-572-1020. You could talk to G Funky Boxing and the crew that's watching, and the crew that will also be watching on archive. Don't forget about them as well. And give us your hot takes, man. I want those hot, fresh takes, right off the press. As soon as the fight's over. That's why I do this stuff right when these fights are done, man. But what did you guys like? Cosmic Ozzy, who called in earlier, asked me about Janibek. I thought he looked pretty good, although he was in there with a guy who he was supposed to look good against. All right, give me a second, guys. We're getting a phone call. All right, guys. I got a real treat on the line right now. I got a guy, one of my original subscribers from 11 years ago on the line. Psycho Boxing fan. Good to talk to you for the first time after all these years, brother. Thanks for calling in.
What's up? What's up, man? What's going on?
I'm doing great, man. Hey, a full day of fights. What more could we ask for as Psycho Boxing fans? Pun intended right there.
hey, dude. I want to tell you something, man. David Lemieux went in there right off the back. I could tell his game plan was to work, go to the body. He landed some hard shit on David's body, man, and you could tell that was his game plan from the get go. He wanted to try to because he did look soft, man. David's always soft around that midsection.
Yeah.
But man, dude, I got to give it to Lemieux, man. He went in there. He didn't go in there to lay down, dude. He was throwing some hard shit. And David made the adjustments. And one of the things that I noticed, man, was the jab. That fucking jab, dude. His jab is nice.
Yes, it is.
It's nice, dude. And he's got dynamite in both hands, dude. Dude, I'm gonna tell you right now, man. I don't see nobody fucking with him at 68. I don't.
I
I really don't, dude. And I think he'll give Canelo all he can handle, dude. I really think because of his jab. See, this is what I've always told people. The way you beat Canelo, man, the way to beat Canelo is with the jab, and you have to step to Canelo and push his ass back. That's how you beat Canelo, dude. I've always told people, and you got to have balls. People get in there, and he makes them keep their hands at home, dude, because he's such a slick counterpuncher. But I don't see David Benavidez backing down at all from Canelo, dude.
No. So, that will be that would be like fight of the year, fight of the decade, possibly. I think, man. I think that would be a tremendous fight. And I agree with you 100% about the jab, bro. And I've been saying that for a long time about Canelo. I've been breaking down a lot of his fights, and I've always said that a good jab, guys who have good elite jabs, will give him trouble. That's the one punch that consistently gets in on him. And Benavidez.
But you have to step to him, though. You have to step to Canelo. Like what Bivol did, man. Bivol wasn't laying down. Bivol was just stronger, man, and he was just slick. I think Canelo had no business going up to 75, man. You can tell he was slow as fuck. He was slow as fuck when he fought Kovalev.
I agree.
He was losing that fight.
I agree with you, man, because I felt like he was gonna have the hand speed advantage in that fight, and it didn't look that way to me.
No,
it didn't look that way to me the fight night, man.
No, bro, he was sluggish as fuck, bro. And and he was slow like that when he fought Kovalev, man. That's the truth.
Yeah.
I think his best. I think he should stay at 68, man, and he's got a lot of work down there, man. He's got plenty of work there at 68.
Yeah, to defend the throne, and that's what I said. I don't know if you remember, but that's what I said after he became undisputed. I said, hey, look, just kick back, fight some mandatories, defend the throne. But, he decided to move up to fight Bivol, and I said it when the fight was announced. I made a quick video. I said, hey, look, this is a tremendous fight for Canelo and not an easy one, So, yeah, he lost, and it is what it is, man. He's still undisputed at 168, and like you said, there's some work there for him,
It is, dude, and I think the man is Benavidez. The man to beat is Benavidez, dude. I mean, that's hands down, dude. That guy showed me some shit tonight, man. Seriously,
I agree.
He's an absolute monster.
I agree. I'm in complete agreement with you on this one, brother.
And the interesting thing is too, man, is what does this do? What does this do to Canelo's head, man? Like, some people take a beating like that because he got his ass whooped, dude. Bivol whooped his ass, and what do you think that does to him mentally, man? Some fighters are not the same, So we don't know how he's going to react to this loss.
Yeah, and that's why I say, just forget the rematch. Just forget the rematch. Let him do his thing at 175. He wants to go after those guys, Smith or Better Beef, whoever wins that fight. And that's a hell of a fight and a big fight now, being that Bivol just beat Canelo, I say just leave that rematch alone. I know there's a lot of people that think that he should do it. And look, he's got every right to do it. It's in the contract. Contract's a contract. If he enforces that rematch, he's got to do it. He doesn't have a choice. But I just think it's going to be another nightmare for him. Go ahead.
But if he does do it, I think the best, if he does go for the rematch, I think the best thing would be to make Bivol come down to 68. I think that's his only chance, dude. That's his only chance to beat Bivol.
Yeah, and that just
because we don't know how we don't know how Bivol's gonna come in at 68, losing all that weight, man. We don't know if he's gonna be, a week at that weight.
Right. And unfortunately, if that happens, we're gonna hear the narrative is gonna be, well, he weakened him, or he's trying to weaken him,
Yeah.
So yeah, personally, I just feel like it's gonna be another bad matchup for him. It's gonna be another tough fight for him. Why not just say forget it?
Yeah.
Let me deal with what I got to deal with here. With whatever he wants to do at 168, we'll see. But yeah, man.
He needs to. Yeah. He needs to, bro.
Yeah, but I think for the fans, man, it would be the best fight. Canelo versus Benavidez. I mean,
definitely. And dude, and that's a big money fight, bro.
mm-hmm.
It really is. It
I
really
agree.
is, dude.
I agree 100%.
But the problem is now he's got two more fights to do with Matchroom, right?
Yeah, he does.
You know, so you have some that's some difficult shit right there between the PBC and Matchroom.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so we don't know what's going to happen, but I want to see it. I think Canelo needs that. He needs that fight, man.
Yep, I'm right there with
great
you.
matchup.
Right there with you, 100%.
Charlo, I don't think Charlo is going to fight. I think he's going to duck him, dude.
We'll see.
I really do.
Well, I'm really interested to hear what he has to say after the Sulecki fight. You know, I think he should beat Sulecki, but you never know. This is boxing. But I really want to hear what he has to say. Is he finally going to announce that he's going to move up to 168 because he's got the body for it? He's 6 foot tall. You know, he's
a big dude.
Yeah, he's got the frame for
a big dude, man.
Yep, he's got the
and
frame
he's
for
strong. Jamal's strong.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, man.
But you know, this other kid, he actually had the balls to call Benavidez out about a week or two ago. I was hearing
Morrell,
that
David
Morrell kid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, dude. So he's got that. He's got that guy.
It's another good
fight. What do you think about that fight?
You know, I think it's a good fight. And when we had Benavidez on, we asked him about Morrell, and he said, "Hey, look, he's a good fighter. You know, he's got the Cuban style. I think it would be a tremendous fight." He says, and it's a fight that could possibly happen because they're both on PBC. So I'm good with any of them, man. I'm good with Charlo.
Yeah.
I'm good with Plant. I'm good with Morrell. I'm good with Canelo. Any of those fights, let's do it. You know.
I agree, and I don't know, man. I think Plant too. He's another one. He's going to try to stay away from that. I can see him trying to price himself out of that fight.
Yeah,
you know,
we'll see how the chips fall, man. But hey, bro, this has been good talking to you, man. First time, like I said, 11 years you subscribed to me, man, and I appreciate the support along the way, man.
And you know what, man? Shout out to all you guys, man. You know, I've been listening to you guys, man, since 2011, dude. D Style, you, the OG Blood Boxing. I love Blood Boxing, man. There used to be another cat, Gambino. Gambino used to make some badass videos.
I remember him. You
know, Fair Shake. Remember
yes.
Fair Shake?
Yes, sir.
You know, all those guys, man. Yeah, man. Keep up the good work, bro. I'll call in, man. Whenever you have available like this, dude, I love to call in and shoot the shit with you guys, man.
Hey, every fight, man, I'm going live after the fights, taking calls because I want to get those fresh hot takes, man, from you guys out there who watch these fights. So, hey, man, it's been a pleasure talking to you, brother, and you know, we'll talk again soon.
Order, bro. Y'all have a good night, man. Good night.
You too, brother. Psycho Boxing. Wow, that's crazy, man. That guy, again, when I first started back in 2010, subscribe to me. Guys, I can only take one call at a time. So if you called in, I'm going to go one more caller, and then we're going to wrap this thing up. It's hot right now. We got 50 in here. Guys, hit my damn like button. I don't even have 30 likes yet. 51 people watching. Let's get up to 50 likes, okay? Let me go ahead and read some of these comments here. You guys all came in when I was talking with Psycho, and I appreciate everybody being here. Let's see. Canelo should probably concentrate on 160. You think he can go back to 160? I don't know. Let's see. What are we talking here? Go rewatch it. Lemieux just walks in, and David, what is he trying to say? It's fixed or something? Like, I don't understand what's going on here. William Boxing, what's up, bro? Another good subscriber right here says Canelo's going for that rematch, and you think he beats him? Oh, God, man. It's a nightmare stylistic wise, man. And I agree with you, Kazmic Ozzy. It definitely wasn't a cherry pick. I think that they seen some things that they could possibly exploit, but I don't think it was a cherry pick like that. Benavidez versus Charlo, winner gets Canelo. I'm good with it because Canelo's busy with the Matchroom deal. I'm okay with that. Fotex, what's up, bro? He says a judge is going to gift him the decision just to sweeten the sourness of defeat. I think we're talking about the rematch with Bivol. El Cotto here says Canelo KOs Benavidez in an ugly way. I disagree with you on that one. But hey, everyone can give their picks here, man. You know, Roy Jones Jr. is right. Hindsight is 20/20. Yeah. See, Bivol was taking those shots like nothing. How are you going to tire your opponent for the later rounds if you're not hurting him? Hawker Mustang's another guy from back in the day. What's up, man? Thanks for being here. Benavidez hasn't got the defense for Canelo. Ask yourself, does Canelo have the defense for Benavidez? And that's what makes it an interesting fight. William Boxing, G-Funky, is Benavidez a mandatory for Canelo's belt? And how long can Canelo prolong? The walls are closing on Canelo. I believe a mandatory has about 18 months to fulfill it before they're stripped. Now, will the WBC do that to Canelo? I don't know. I have no idea. Who knows what they'll do? The worst thing they can do is franchise him at 168. And I hope I didn't just jinx it. Yovan Soto says Benavidez and Canelo are the top dogs at 168. I agree. I agree 100%. Charlo has moved to Mexico after seeing that. Yeah, and like I said, guys, I know I had a few calls that I missed tonight. I can only take one call at a time, you know. So here's what you guys got to do. I'm gonna take the banner down because I'm getting ready to wrap this one up. Like I said, I like to keep these around 1 hour, get those hot takes from you guys. And again, hit my like button. All right, 56 in the house. Let's get those likes up. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. But yeah, I'll say this, man. Benavidez is definitely head and shoulders above everybody else right now to fight Canelo, I think, in my opinion. Hawker Mustang, Bubba Andrade is a fake boogeyman. Prime GGG was for real. I think Canelo versus Triple G3 is a fight they will make now. It's the best fight for Canelo and Triple G. It's possible because coming off a tough loss, Canelo could that could be a good fight for him. And that's a big money fight too. It's a big money fight too. A lot of casual fans know who Triple G is. So, you know, when they hear that name, especially against Canelo, it could be a big fight. But here's what I need you guys to do. When you come in on the post-fight call-in show, make sure that you're live. Okay, just click on the screen. You'll see a little live icon on the bottom left. Click that button to make sure that you're up to speed so you can hear if I'm on the phone with somebody. This way you don't call in while I'm on with someone and then I don't get to your call. I want to hear from everybody, you know. But the more that the show grows, the longer I'll make the shows and the more support I get for it by just hitting the like button. Okay. Again, there's 20 people that are watching that aren't going to hit the like button right now for some reason. Okay. The more support I get, the longer I'll make these shows. So hit the damn like button. It's free. Okay. Free 99 to hit that like button. The walls are closing in on Canelo. Drum up the past prime talks. I think Benavidez will beat Andrade and Charlo. Maybe Bivol at 168 could beat him, though. I don't think Bivol wants to go to 168. He's not talking like he has any intention on going down there. It says David has a sus chin. Remember, Gravel was able to drop him with not much effort. That was more of a flash knockdown. I mean, Canelo's been hurt several times. You know, Cotto's brother rocked him pretty badly. So, I mean, you know, hey, guys get hurt. It is what it is, man. But yeah, man. All right, I'm going to wrap this one up, guys. Again, I appreciate everyone being here. I really do. Make sure you check out this video here, too. The Made Men of Boxing. Made that the other day. Go over there. Give it a listen. Hit the like button on that one. This has been the post-fight call-in show for David Benavidez versus David Lemieux. And we talked about some of the other fights as well tonight. Big night of fights, guys. Boxing is on fire. I will be here again. Joe Lopez, 20 of your haters are watching. Right. You know, I got a lot of haters too, bro. If they're mad at me now, they're going to be more mad at me in a few weeks. Trust me, brother. Stay tuned. But I appreciate all you guys' support. Thank you for the calls. All of you guys, man, great stuff. And we'll see you on the next one, guys. This is G Funky Boxing, and I'm out of here. See you guys later.